RAJ by the Sea is a project that timelessly traverses continents. From the dunes of the Thar Desert to Rhode Island's salty sands, RAJ by the Sea produces prints and textiles that express coastal living through traditional block printing. This vlog series is about my visit to Rajasthan in 2021. My explorations in and around Jaisalmer were coming to an end. It had been a pleasant time for me, reconnecting with the desert vibe, wandering the stone paths in and around the fort, feeling comfortable yet foreign at the same time. You can click on part 1 of this series to check out some more touristic features that I experience. It was now time to refocus on my original intention, learning the technique of block printing. One reason for choosing Jaisalmer was that I was sure I could have access to some great restaurants, live music, and spectacular views in an open-minded yet traditional enclave. Since my last visit by train in 2015, commercial flights from within India had started to arrive. But despite the huge influx of travelers, the city certainly had not lost its charm. The buzz of the place still felt friendly and eclectic. I remembered that tourists could find all sorts of Rajasthani goods, especially leather, jewelry, and high-quality antiques. So when I made my travel plans, I assumed that it would have been the perfect place for learning block printing. It honestly was a bit disappointing to find out that no printing was in fact done there, or even anywhere nearby, due to the fact that the dyeing process requires steady sources of flowing water. What was I to do? Well, I would take a deep, mindful breath and figure out how to get the most out of my time. Fortunately, the staff at my hotel, Grand Khalifa, were able to arrange a day trip for me to Barmer, where block printing was already in full effect. But they explained that I had to wait a day or two for the guide, who was out on a camel safari, to be ready. So I found a way to continue my research during the wait. I got in contact with an old friend and textile expert, Jitendra Kumar of the KB Cooperative Art Shop, who 5 years ago was the person who sold me the stamps I used back in Rhode Island. Jitendra was still selling blocks, and he showed all the other handmade items in his collection. I wished I could have had more time to extend my tour of his new museum dedicated to the history of Rajasthani textiles. What are the different cultures exactly?
In this gallery, Rajasthan, Pakistan, Gujarat, Afghanistan, Iran, Uzbekistan, most of the countries of Silk Route. And like this is originally from Afghanistan.
Wow.
This is originally from Sindh region in Pakistan. This is in Hajara Valley in Afghanistan. So you can directly use these for making things. But nowadays one thing that you don't see anymore, it's this called ply split. This is a camel girth from camel or goat wool. And it's a scorpion here, you see.
I think I saw something like this in
Peacock,
Ethiopia.
house, camel, games, structure, architecture, swastika. It's a girth of camel.
One type of cloth that Jitendra introduced me to was khadi cotton. The concept of khadi cotton was started by India's beloved icon, Mahatma Gandhi, who, at the time of independence movement, advocated for farmers to lead sustainable lives, to continue employment throughout the year by spinning and weaving cotton during the off months, with the intention that the cloth would be sold internally within India and not exported to Europe, where the colonial power could gain huge profits from it. Later on, I visited a government-sponsored craft exhibition where I got more familiar with which block-printed products were the most popular. To my surprise, I spotted an outfit sewn from cloth that used repeating coronaviruses in its pattern. There I met Mainesha, who knew a ton about the marketing of these prints domestically. so she invited me to a Women's Day market on the Jaisalmer Army base. Being situated about 100 kilometers away from the Indian-Pakistani border, this was a location essential to keeping the peace between the two nations. The Army Museum's exhibits really opened my eyes to how seriously India takes the protection of its citizens. The Women's Day market tents attracted many Army families, all of whom got their pick of saris in fabrics such as linen, chiffon, silk, georgette, and cotton. There I learned a bit about the depth of work of Manisha's organization, Jaipur Saman, which not only sources saris locally, but also takes in needy folks, training them in jobs so that they can live more fruitful lives with better decision-making and longer-term goals. The next day, we were to travel to Barmer to identify a printmaking workshop that would be willing to host me as a learner for the day. Barmer was a center for one type of prints termed Ajrak, known for its small geometric patterns in dark reds, blues, greens, and blacks. Though the car trip to Barmer was super long, one way took about 3 hours, we got the chance to pass through a vast onshore wind farm called Jaisalmer Wind Park, which is apparently one of the largest in the world. In Barmer, our first stop was at a showroom/studio established by Ruma Devi, an award-winning entrepreneur and promoter of women-made handicrafts, coming from very humble roots. Though the warm-hearted workers showed us such a vast selection of beautiful cloth, the actual block printing was not being done in-house. It was fun spending time with the specialists who were willing to teach me a thing or two about the embroidery technique. Then we had a very interesting visit to Manoj printers, who employed some craftsmen who were actually handicapped and deaf. I really liked their blue and green batik patterns, and there I learned how sand, dirt, wood hips, and cow manure can be used during the different stages of printing. Still, it was not a place set up for visitors like me to just jump in and participate. Please tune in to the next video where I settle in on a great place in Barmer to learn block printing, and then later actually stamp and dye my own cloth.